Here at Socastee Rec Park. Back for the back 10 holes of the Myrtle Beach Open. Catrina, Holly, Rebecca, and Ellen. Still a fairly close battle in my own personal opinion, having played this course. Plenty of opportunity for separation. Shout out to above ground level disc. And on a side note, I want to say, when you go to AGL Disc and you want to order a disc, there's an option on there to order. It's only $2, and it's some custom artwork that the owner, Josh's daughter, Ava, does. And I highly recommend that you do that. It's definitely, I've got my wall plastered with all of her artwork there, so it's definitely just a little something I'd say to do for her. She does good things over there. She donates some money to schools and stuff to, during the whole pandemic. So just something that I say to support her. So we'll support Ava and AGL Disc. Also, shout out to the Broken Beans. Gotta plug Broken Beans for Ava. All right. And thanks to all the other sponsors. If you see these guys, you'll hear about them throughout the whole shindig, and they're all great. They wouldn't be on here if I didn't think that they were all great. Yeah, definitely check the links below to all the sponsors. Go check them out. They support disc golf, so if you love disc golf, then trust me, you love these folks. All right, and we're heading on to hole number 10 here. Hole number 10 is pretty much wide open. This is a long 400 plus foot hole that needs to finish to the right. There's a lot of trees on the right. There is OB on the left. You shouldn't really have to worry too much about OB unless you're throwing backhand. If you're a forehand thrower, for the most part, you could pretty much take an easy par on here unless you got the power to get there. But you mostly just see a lot of sky anti-flexes trying to get into that gap down there on the right corner there to get into those trees. So yeah, there's you see a lot of rollers on here as well. Haven't really seen one laid down very well, but it looks like right here we're witnessing a pretty good one by Catrina. As I was distracted trying to adjust my exposure on the camera there, she threw that darn well, almost too good, went further than the basket, further than she needed on that. So that was one of the best rollers I've ever seen on this hole. And there is a Mando down there that Rebecca does make. Watch Ellen can do, and that should be just fine. She's probably just planning on playing this for par. They're putting a good bit behind that. That needs to get down and not catch too much of a roll. Maybe roll back in. Hard to tell what that was. I think it might have been OB, but we'll see what the results are of that. Rebecca just didn't get enough on that to get that to turn in. That just kind of died out on her and went straight. And I think Holly was OB on this. That's a good forehand bid there. She'll have a look at a putt there. Ellen tossing that up perfectly right there, no problem. Good shot right there, and yeah, Catrina definitely went way further than she wanted to, but she still got a good bit at this. This is within her range all day, and just not enough. I thought that was going to be a repeat of those long hyzering jump putts. Still an impressive roller. Ooh, and that almost bounced out there by Holly. Almost bounced out. Alright, they'll tap out and we'll head on to hole number 11. My least favorite hole. Hole number 11 in the long position. Super long, super technical. There's a bridge that you can see down there. That pretty much is where you want to start anhysering out if you're going to be throwing a turnover shot. Because there's plenty of room once you get out of that gap. You just need to be able to get it to go through that gap on a good ante, so that once it comes out, it's not continuing to ante into the trees to the right, into the other hole 12 fairway, or finishing too early and hitting the trees down above that bridge, because a lot of people hit early trees on this. A lot of people hit that bridge. It's a very, very technical shot to hit that gap like that. And yeah, even Catrina, as good as she is, she's still just caught that a little early down at the end. But that was the ideal line. She had the right idea. And look at Ellen here showing you how a forehand is done. That was perfect. It was very, very good. And that's a bit too high, but still not too bad of a result. She's gonna be right there where she can get up and down from that one. And Holly, I'm not sure if that was what she was intending, or if she wanted to get a little more turn out of that, but still, that's gonna give her an opportunity for a backhand hyzer pretty easily, because it's pretty open to the right there of the basket over there in the cluster of trees. And that was a good forehand out there by Holly. Or excuse me, Catrina. I'm still excited to see that there's a gallery at Socastee to watch disc golf. That's ooh, early tree. That looks so good. Nice little skip action there. Should be able to get something out of that. Ellen cut that in a little early. Not sure if she was trying to cut that in earlier, or she's trying to go around it, kind of towards where Cat is, to skip in. Cat's she's gonna give it a little jump putt on this one. And she does. She's so good at that jump putt. So accurate with it. Very good par save. Just kind of having ups and downs on the putting green today. Ella not happy with that one. Good par save by Rebecca. Only want a couple of those putts back there, but she'll rebound. She's definitely not out of it. Catrina is pulling away a little bit. Ellen's put herself in second here. Fortunately, had to take a bogey on that one, so plenty of holes left, so heading on to hole number 12. Hole number 12, very short hole. It's a flat 200 feet. You've got two options on here. There is a line to the right where once we get to the hole, you can see that it a little bit of a road path kind of leads to the right a little bit. A lot of people throw a hyzer above the big hyzer, sky spike hyzer above the trees, but I think the most obvious route is a gut shot mid or putter. Maybe turn something over a little bit to avoid hitting the trees directly in front of you, but it's really just your personal preference, whether you trust the big hyzer and you can get it high enough, or you trust your turnover. And Rebecca did a great job right there. That's really good. It's what you want to do there. See, a lot of people hit these early trees here. A lot of people do throw forehands here too, but they usually just flip up forehands that get a little bit of turnover. And it was a good attempt there by Holly. That's what I was saying about the big kind of spike hyzer. It can be really rewarding, but at the same time, it can be also very difficult. Lots of foliage to hit. Ooh, and Ellen just missing a little on the high left side there. And Holly was able to make it through all of these trees and still get a really good shot at this. So yeah, that was... Ooh. Too much power on that one. It was still a great drive by her though. She definitely deserved a birdie on that one.
Nice.
Great birdie there by Rebecca. That's what you want to do. Catrina tapping out, and we'll head on to hole number 13. Hole number 13 is a long par 4, 595 feet. Your basic first shot is a dog leg to the left. You're basically just trying to put this in a spot to give you a good run down to get as close to the basket as you can. So you'll see a lot of just initial placement shots, putters, mids, something that just hyzers out. So there's plenty of options for what you want to throw in here. It's just knowing your disc at this point and trying not to go too deep on it, because once you end up too deep, like Rebecca's kind of done here, it's very difficult. It's easy to overthrow this and get deep, so you got to put a lot of hyzer depending on what you're throwing, or keep it low and play off a skip. Like I think that's what Cat's trying to do. Play off a skip. You see that a lot too. And that was came out a little too early for Ellen there. Holly, yeah, catching some limbs down there. Very easy to get stuck in a bad spot on this hole. But right there where Ellen's landing, that's typically where most people end up, in that area on your first shot. That's a good place to be. Gives you a pretty open look. And Holly just struggling right here, just trying to pitch out there to give herself an opportunity. Yeah, and Rebecca doing the same, just having to take her medicine on that. This will give her a good opportunity at a nice flex turnover. And that looks really good. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, if she had that on her first shot, she would be in much better shape. She would be very happy with that. Ellen laying down a roller here that just caught a big root, I think, and just turned it over to the left there. It's very tough to throw rollers on some of these holes because there's tons of roots in the ground, and a lot of them you can't really see. So, but I've seen it pulled off here. So, yeah, Catrina Just trying to pitch it out of there to get her, reduce some of the distance that she's going to need. And that was a great throw there by Holly. That's coming up nicely. Nice, and look at all that skip action. Perfect. That was impressive. Catrina pretty much going to try to do the same thing. Yeah, she's opting for more of a hyzer. Looked like it was trying to flatten out, but still not a bad result. She'll definitely have a look at it. I think Ellen's just going to try and get somewhere out there, and she caught something. It's so tough once you get into certain parts of these woods to even to just try to get out, just to give yourself a decent look at something. So that was great up there by Rebecca. And Ellen just waiting on the next car. They're right next to us here on hole 14, just being courteous, letting them tee off before she throws. True professionals here. And that was a good out. She caught a little bit of a limb, but she still had enough momentum to get out of there. Catrina just a bit too high. Rebecca sneaking that in over there. Taking a bogey there. It's actually not too bad there considering how early she was in the woods there, so that's not a bad save at all. And I don't know what happened there with Holly. I think that was just too much power there from her. I've said before, she's got tons of power behind her spin putt, so just putting it too good is what it is, Holly. You're too good at putting. We'll head on to hole number 14. Hole number 14, 526 feet. Very long. Mostly what you're going to want to do here is just again another placement shot, just kind of straight down the middle. You don't want to overcook it too much to the right, because even though you can see that the right has some opening on it, it's still going to be a little tougher to get through that. You're going to want to stay to that left side and avoid the right. So being on the left here, even after these sets of trees, is not going to be too bad for you. You're still going to have something to work with, like a flex forehand or something like that. So just try to stay in the fairway there. This looks good. It's just got to finish for Rebecca, and that's perfect. Yeah, that's a professional shot right there if I've ever seen one on this hole. Cat, ooh. She was hyzer flipping that one. It just a little too stable on her. But still, she's not in a bad spot there. She can say par from there. Ellen, this is the thing with the forehand, is you gotta get something that's gonna turn over, but not too much. She's stinging enough behind that one, but she can still do something. And Holly taking Rebecca's advice and doing just as good there. It was a great shot. But yeah, you can see here you have a little bit more of a opportunity to flex something around with something overstable, I imagine, is what she's throwing on this. Yeah, and even still, it's still a difficult shot, but yeah, she's not gonna have too much difficulty saving par for the most part. And Ellen, this is a tough spot to be. She might just have to kind of pitch out to the other side. Yeah, that was very, very impressive that she got through all of that. Holly opting for a backhand. She must see a gap down there that she's trying to get through, and she definitely got through it, and she's going to have a putt there. She's going to have a putt for birdie. That was a very, very good line. Very tough lines to hit. As Rebecca learns right here, it's very... There's no real guarantee you're going to make it through every single time on this. Yeah, and Cat just kind of pitching that up there. Yeah, I'm trying to run that in. Surprised she didn't go with a forehand on that. There's a little more room. You get it kind of high in the air and let it hyzer in from that angle over there. But she's got a good putt at it, so I'm not judging. Yes, very good par save there. No, and Holly's not happy with that. That was so there. Looked a little left. Rebecca sneaking that in over the band there. Or the cage. Nice par save by Catrina. Alright, for this we'll move on to hole number 15, one of the much shorter holes, but still very technical. Hole 15, only 275 feet, but it's a very, very narrow gap. Lots of trees on the left and on the right. And the basket is just down there at the end, right where it starts to open up, right next to a tree. So there is the opportunity to go a little too deep and wind up in the ditch, or even worse, end up early in the trees. So it's almost better just to throw something that you know is going to go straight, so that you don't wind up anywhere in those situations. Something straight up the gut. But if you want to run it, you're definitely running the risk of ending up in a very, very bad spot. And Rebecca, she's got some height on that, and that's hyzering out nicely. Yeah, she's out there right where, yeah, that's a good spot to be. She may not have a good look at the putt, potentially, depending on the angle, but that's better than being in these trees. And Catrina slipped a little there, but did get a good kick off that tree and roll right down there, so she'll have an easy upshot. Ellen breaking out the backhand again. Turning it over a little too high and catching a kick. She might not be too deep, though. Oh, those were two really good kicks. Probably three, actually. Because you don't want to get a kick into the woods. And Holly, she was kind of running that one almost. Yeah, Catrina just going to play the skip up there. Nice upshot. Should be able to save par from there. And Ellen kicked a little deeper than she wanted to. It's one reason why you want to avoid fairway drivers or drivers. If you do happen to kick off a tree, you're gonna kick a lot further than you would want to. So. There we go. And Holly with a long putt. I think she's gonna concede to the other players since there are people in the fairway down there on 17, I believe. So she's gonna let Rebecca take a stab at it. This will be a very nice birdie by Rebecca right here. Yeah, there we go. Becca's making some moves here. And Holly, there we go. That's what we're used to seeing with Holly. Nailing those long putts. Yeah, hole 15 is not as easy as it looks. We'll be heading on to number 16. Hole 16 is another par 4. 810 feet. Another placement shot off the tee. Nice wide hyzer. Not too wide. You can get it high in the air. You can play a little bit of a flare, but for the most part, there's this little set of irrigation ditches that have been dug that you kind of want to get to. That's like a typical good landing zone, just to where you can see the open field around that bend. So, see what they do in this. Rebecca, that looks pretty good. Yep, right there, and you can see that irrigation ditch right there with the rocks in it. That's a good reference point to be at. And that looks really good by Catrina. Oh yeah. We got 2 very good shots right off the gate. And that's a little straight. That needs to come out, and that does. Also another good shot. We got another Ellen Widboom backhand.
Nice shot. Nice.
She's got a good backhand on her. Very good. She should use that more often. She sets her up for a forehand turnover here, I think. I like this play on this. It's just got to come out. It's real easy to catch early trees or hyzer out too early into the woods over there to the right. But she's not too bad where she's at. And Rebecca had the right idea. Just caught those early trees. Yeah, and that's kind of ideal. You want to go a little wider than you think you need to on this. Kind of hug that tree line a little bit and then finish over to the left. Rebecca's got a long forehand opportunity. Looks like she might have slipped on that one a little bit. Didn't get a... Either slipped or had a bit of a late release. And Ellen trying to flex that out. Looks really good. Just overcooked it a little bit to the other basket placement. You can hear Holly. Did not get enough behind that. It's hard to get enough power when you don't have your You have to have a odd stance like that, and Catrina doing a great job. Pretty much under the basket right there. And that'll do for Rebecca. Nice little up there by Holly. I'm sure Ellen can do the same thing. Even though she caught that tree, she still has an opportunity at it, but got actually a lucky kick that didn't kick back even further, but she'll shake it off.
Nice putt.
Some very nice putt there. Rebecca for the bogey. Probably as well taking a bogey on this one. Katrina's starting to pull away a little bit on this. But of course, we still got one more round left. Move on to hole number 17. Alright, hole 17. 303 feet. This is a very tricky shot. The ditches are OB on this particular event, which is not something we're used to. We're used to expecting those to be a safe place. So on this one, off to the left in the soccer field, that is OB. Ditches are OB. So you really have the right side of this fairway and then pretty much where the basket is at to try to land. So kind of have to just pick your poison. Do you want to go for it? Or do you want to save your par and just pitch something up there and play it safe?
Oh, come on. Good touch, though, 100%. Yeah.
Discussing the OB out there.
Thank you.
I believe she was OB, but she landed inbounds first. So just making sure that she gets the fair lie. Rebecca flirting with it too. And I think she might have been OB as well. Shout out to Maddie Robinson there on putting the flags out there. Being a great spotter. Thank you, Maddie. And Holly going for it as well. They're going for this. And Holly showing you how it's done. That was impressive. This is not an easy shot. I'm telling you right now, this is not an easy shot. Those trees, everybody's going for it. That's a great turnover. Oh, that was an unfair tree right there. But yeah, all of those are great shots from there. It's a tough shot to pull off. Those trees right in front of you get in your head, and that root stopped Rebecca nicely there. Very well done. Ellen, very nice. Hopefully that didn't roll. It's kind of hard to see with that tree there. Oh. Just barely missed. Just barely missed on that one. And Holly going for birdie. Yep, still having some up and downs on the putting. But we all know her on the comeback shot, so hopefully she can capitalize. but not that time. Very rare to see a Holly Finley 3-putt. She'll shake it off. Alright, moving on to hole number 18. Hole number 18 is a long par 5, 640 feet. Pretty much a tunnel shot for the most of the way there. About halfway or a little bit more. Obviously, you want to avoid being on the left or the right. OB is not really a problem on here, but if you wind up on the top of that hill to the right or anywhere in the woods to the left, it's essentially the same thing. You're going to likely lose a stroke, so you just want to place this straight down the gut somewhere to give yourself a good out through that the long opening you see at the end. See a lot of putter off the tee throws. Cat, she might have got a good kick by a tree there. And that looks pretty good as long as it gets down and doesn't get too much. Yeah, that might have got a little bit too much to the right, but if she's down there, there's a little bit of an opening over there to the left that'll give you some room to work with, and Holly just cut this in a little too tight. But not too bad. Not as bad as we thought from the tee. The forehand can be scary on this, but Ellen does that really well. Playing off the side of the hill there can be very friendly. And Holly flexing something out into that opening there. That'll play nicely. Yeah, and Holly got a good out here. Gives her a shot at that opening, and she totally hits it perfectly. And that was just a fantastic shot right there by Holly Finley. Rebecca trying to flex something out there through the gap as well. Also, that... Oh, yeah. Rolling off the hill, getting a little extra distance. That's perfect. That's great. I would love that shot on my second shot every time. Ellen trying to copy that. Yeah. Ellen even outdoes that and gets way down there. Those are phenomenal shots. Catrina just didn't get enough on that. And she's going to have a tough shot. Like I said, it's pretty much OB once you end up in there. So she pitched out on here. So we'll see her pick up where she pitched out at here shortly. Holly trying to put it up there, give herself a nice short putt. Rebecca doing the same thing, getting it up there nicely. And she saw that off a bit too early. Very nice up there by Ellen. And I think there was some distraction off to the left of the field. I'm not really sure what it was. So I stopped recording at one point, but she just tossed it up there. She was like, that's all day by Cat. Very powerful putt there by Holly. That was a very nice birdie. They played this hole so well. This is the hole that I expected to see some higher numbers on. but they proved me wrong on that one. Very impressed. Shouldn't be surprised. I mean, look at who we're looking at. So we'll be moving on to.
Can I ask you about this crystal around your neck? This one right here? You certainly can. I'm glad you did ask. I should have been shangling it a little bit. Spirit Armour, thank you again for hooking me up with this nice piece. Let me hold it out for you. This is my bling.
Hole number 19 is pretty straightforward. This is one of the guaranteed birdies. You want to finish around out with a birdie on this one. It's forehand friendly, backhand friendly, forehand hyzer, backhand hyzer. There is a Mandos, triple Mandos, so that you don't wind up in the basketball court to the left. So, long as you're minding the wind on this hole, there can be some wind coming at you. It's a pretty easy birdie for the most part. Basket's tucked down there pretty safely, so you could pretty much run it. This pretty common shot right here, backhand hyzer, and Rebecca actually overcooked that a little bit, but that tree down there stopped her, so she'll have a straddle putt at that probably. And Holly trying to do the same thing, get it in there a little tighter, and that is parked. Great job there. Allen cutting that in a little tight. She's probably gonna catch that. Yeah. You'd be amazed at how much that little stump comes into play. Catrina doing with an extreme hyzer there. Maybe playing off a little flare, but got a little too deep, so it didn't really have anywhere to flare over to other than the little patch of trees there. Allen giving it a run. It's safe to run this from most angles. Pretty well protected. Catrina. Very good putt there. See if Rebecca can capitalize on the birdie here. Finish strong. No, Rebecca just not having a good putting day today. Have a lot of good drives, but just not able to capitalize on the putts. And Holly just having some ups and downs on the putting, which is unusual to see from Holly, who is just a great putter. So we'll have a good bit of separation here. Rebecca four away from Catrina, with Holly and Ellen trailing behind there. So. So yeah, definitely some score separation there. Catrina held her own there at this course. Definitely expected Holly to have a little bit better round, but just a little bit of putting woes, but she's still definitely not out of it. I mean, you've seen what she did in the first round. She can definitely do that again. So we'll see what happens in the third round, the final round at Splinter City. Brand new course. Excited to see the finale. Big thanks to everybody that showed up. The crowd of people. Very happy to see people supporting the event and coming out to support the ladies, and had a lot of fun doing this. Big thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks to the Myrtle Beach Disc Golf Club, especially for doing such a great job with this event. Chad Sullivan doing a great job, buddy. The Teddy Peddler. Everybody go hug your Teddy. Go hug the teddy peddler, track him down. He did a great job as well. So yeah, overall this event's gone really well. Was very excited to be a part of this. I'm very nervous at the same time, so very anxious to show you guys the next round. We'll see what happens. See who comes out on top. But again, thanks to all the sponsors. Please go check them out. Links are in the description.